All right, we want to update you now on this report that we reported earlier this morning of 12 dead, at least 12 dead, in a blast in Bangkok, in Thailand. A large explosion that rocked this intersection there in the central part of Thailand. People reporting that there are body parts on the ground. This happened very, very close to a five-star resort next to a shrine in Thailand. We have somebody who is on the ground. His name is Tom Barrett. He's joining us live from Bangkok. Tom, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
Tom, tell us what happened.
Well, actually, I'm actually just about 300, 400 meters away from the actual explosion, just sitting in my high-rise apartment around just past 7 p.m. and I heard a huge bang, which I thought was thunder, and then suddenly, maybe 10 minutes later, it was just like a continuous barrage of sirens outside the window.
Have you been able to get down to the street, Tom, to see what the scene looks like?
I actually have an obscure view from my apartment, but I can see directly on the street leading up to the explosion. So all I can see is just wave after wave of ambulances and fire trucks leaving and entering at the same time, simultaneously.
Tom, describe that area. You have an apartment there, you say you're staying there. What kind of district is this? We know it's a busy commercial district, but what can you tell us about the area where this explosion took place?
Well, actually, the explosion happened right around, there's this Erewhon shrine. It's a religious site where many people come and pray. And it's also, yeah, like you said, it's a very, very populated area. There's always people around. So that explosion definitely affected many people just past rush hour here.
Tom, Thailand has been going through some political turmoil in the last couple of years or so, going back to November of 2013, when protests forced the ouster of the Prime Minister, Shinwa. But we've never really seen anything to this level. We've seen some small-scale skirmishes between protesters and the military. We know that the military is fighting in some Muslims, Malay ethnic groups, but not in Bangkok. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, no. I mean, I'm not sure myself right now if it could be any form of terrorist attack. I don't know if I can say that, but no, I've never seen anything at this level. It's actually, oh wow, there was just a huge lightning just went past. I think it's about to rain. It's going to be pretty difficult around here.
And so, Tom, how are you feeling about your own safety there?
Well, right now the phone lines are pretty crazy right now. Everyone's calling everyone. A few of my friends had a hard time connecting with their family, but the people in my immediate circle are safe. But yeah, definitely it would not be going out in the open, in public for a while now.
Tom, stand by. We want to talk to Steve Herman. He's a Voice of America journalist who's there also on the scene. Steve, thanks for joining us. Tell us what you know.
Yes, we're standing in the intersection of Sukhumvit and Ratchadamri, probably about 40 feet from where the blast occurred. Earlier, before they pushed us back because of concern about a possible second blast going off, we were able to get right up to the gate of this tourist shrine named Erewhon Shrine. We did see 6 bodies in there. There are body parts strewn throughout the intersection that are covered with small pieces of paper, and we saw a number of injured transported from the scene. I was in my 18th floor office about a half a mile away, and heard a boom. I thought maybe it's just a thunderclap, and then we didn't hear anything else, and we thought it was a bit odd, and then it became obvious that there had been some sort of explosion. And we did have an unnamed officer here on the scene shortly after we arrived tell us that it was a bomb blast. The police, firemen, and ambulance crews have been here for about an hour, and now we are seeing Army troops on the scene in helmets. They do not appear to be carrying weapons, and they are telling us to get farther and farther back. So that is what the situation is right now.
Steve, we know that the military has been in control of Thailand since back in May of 2014, and you now say that you see some Army troops moving into the area. There has been some political turmoil in the country, but to my knowledge, I don't recall seeing anything like this in recent memory, and you've obviously been on the ground reporting there. What do you make of this?
Before the coup happened, there were a number of small blasts at protest sites, and one of the reasons that Prayut Chan-o-cha, the army chief at the time, justified his coup was to stop this violence and the political instability in the country. And it has been relatively calm since then. And this is the first major incident that has occurred since the coup. We're told now, according to some information we're receiving, that there are 15 fatalities, that there were 2 bombs that went off, a motorcycle bomb and TNT, and a third one in front of Gaythorne Plaza across the street detonated. And you can hear some people shouting in the background right now. They are telling us to move back. Again, this is about the 7th time that the perimeter is being moved back for the media. So there's a concern about further possible explosions occurring.
That was going to be my question about what was the posture, obviously, with Army troops arriving on the scene. It seems as though this is far from over. But just so I understand you correctly, your sources, are these police officials saying that there were 2, they believe, bombs that went off? The first, a bomb on a motorcycle outside the Erewhon Shrine, and the second across the street at a plaza. Is that correct?
That is what we're hearing right now. But I have to caution you, when these sort of incidents have happened in Thailand in the past, the information that we get early on can be confusing and contradictory. What I can tell you, as someone on the scene, that there was at least 1 blast that killed a number of people, and there are charred motorcycles in the middle of the intersection that possibly could have been caused by a second explosive device, and reports of a third device being detected as well.
Steve, we know from the other person that we were talking to, Tom Barrett, that this area is a very, very popular destination, not just for tourists, but of also people that live in that area, in the neighborhood. Describe it for us.
Oh, this is the heart of Bangkok, especially for the millions of tourists that come here every year. The Erewhon Shrine, where I'm standing right now, right next to it is the Grand Hyatt Erewhon. Across the street is Central World Shopping Mall, the Gaythorne Plaza, where millions of tourists shop every year. And on the other side of the intersection is the police hospital. And this intersection, Sukhumvit and Ratchadamri, is one of the busiest intersections in the city, especially at rush hour around the time that this blast occurred. And this whole area is lined with 5-star hotels.
Tom Barrett, who is there on the ground reporting for Voice of America and reporting for us as well.
Herman.
Sorry, Steve Herman. Steve, thank you so much for your insight and for your reporting. We really appreciate it.
And our thanks to Tom Barrett as well, a witness who actually felt the explosion as he was sitting in his apartment in the evening rush hour, hearing and seeing the waves of ambulances, he said, rushing to the scene. Of course, this is a story that is still continuing to develop. We're going to continue to follow it and bring you more information as it becomes available. For now, a quick break, though. You're watching CBSN. Always On.